Neo high-fived me one time. You can go balls to the wall at Gucci. You could go straight in ham at H&M. Basically, I think I'm ready to talk about my update in living in Las Vegas. So I've been in Las Vegas now for officially a little over 2 years, like 2 years and like 2 months. And let me tell you, this year's a little bit weird. So I am not gonna really include too much of my experience this year. I'm more so kind of letting you guys know about what it was like being a newbie, moving across the country and starting in a state where I knew 2 people, and how I basically landed like the dopest job I could have ever imagined, and just basically the life that ensued. The first nightclub I worked at was in Palms, and it was called Chaos, and that one was really cool because it was brand stinking new. We basically opened the club and they had really cool headliners like Cardi B, J Balvin, Marshmello, Skrillex, like people, like artists that I actually really like and really dig. So I was super excited that I basically would be working with these people, you know, not directly but indirectly. So basically how my job worked was I would dance sets throughout the night before the artist would come on. However, if the artist was a DJ and they were okay with having dancers, we would stay on and dance with them. So like I danced like during Skrillex's set, like I danced during Marshmello's set, like I basically danced with like all of these amazing like A-list artists. Like I shared stages with Cardi B, not at the same time as her, but like we were on there at different times, sis. That nightclub was more EDM. So I worked there for a few months. Like I probably want to say like 2 to 3 months. Like I worked really hard. Like we're doing doubles every weekend. So I was working 7 shifts a weekend. I was working during the day and then I would go home, sleep, and then go back at night and then do it again. So like my weekends were just back to back, but I needed the money. I was making great money getting to do whatever I wanted on a stage to music that I actually liked. It was amazing. The costumes were really cool. Like I was living my, like this was my dream job. Like I literally got paid to dance however I wanted in really cool costumes at a really cool nightclub in Las Vegas. Like what? Mind blown. Eventually Chaos closed like less than a year later. So then later on I get a job at Dre's nightclub. So then I eventually leave Chaos and I go to Dre's, and that's where I basically stayed until the pandemic hit. And I was working there like every single weekend, every single day, every single weekend, because we were understaffed at one point in the winter time. But that job was just the coolest job ever. Like the artists that I got to see since working there, I worked there for about a year, and like I've seen artists, celebrities, like so many people that came to that club, but it was such a cool job. I got to literally dance on a stage, again literally dance on a stage. Like I got to be me. So I just got to like play around with movement. I just danced my heart out, and they played hip-hop. Like it was such a nice contrast to the EDM. So that job was really great. It paid really well. That job was amazing. I got to dance, you know, I got to dance with, so usually we can only dance with DJs. So there's a couple DJs. So I danced with Pauly D so much over the year. I met Pauly D. I partied with Pauly D on his birthday. Like because I worked there, I literally just like clocked out and then went upstairs and partied with Pauly D. Like I danced alongside Wiz Khalifa because he's a DJ. His DJ name is DJ Daddy Cat, if anyone didn't know. But like how insane. And then we had artists like Meg The Stallion, Migos, Meek Mill, Snoop Dogg, 2 Chainz. Like we literally had so many artists, and I got to see all these people like every night because we would be dancing on stage until they came on stage. Like I would walk past these people, I would see these people. I'd see like Ludacris. Neo high-fived me one time. I've seen Summer Walker so many times. Like it's just like it's so crazy to me looking back on it now that I'm like, in the year that I've worked there, the amount of people I've seen, the amount of people I've interacted with that I would have never thought. I saw freaking Floyd Mayweather more than I've ever wanted to see Floyd Mayweather. It's insane the amount of people I came in contact with or like were in the presence of. while all getting to do a job that was literally never felt like a job. It just felt like fun. Every weekend I was excited as heck to go back into work. Like, it was just so much fun. I'd get tired, but like I was excited still to go into work. And yeah, so that's what I was doing before the pandemic hit. And so it was gonna get busier because summer was now about to pick up, and I low-key was getting a little burnt out because I worked every single day. So I wasn't getting days off unless I had requested it. And I wasn't gonna request it because I wanted the money. So you see the dilemma I was having. Took me about, I'd say 6 months to really get settled in and then finally land the job that I really loved. And then I got the second job that I also really loved, and I stuck with that, and that paid my bills. I was able to save up a lot of money. So it was just really nice being able to check off moving to Las Vegas and living off of becoming a performer, because that's what I moved here to do. So I checked that off of my list. But yeah, so now I don't know what the future holds now that the pandemic is here. I do miss the comp dinners and I do miss the nightclubs, but you know, those things are closed. So until then, I'm focusing on other ventures, more working at home, and like, you know, YouTube is really something I've always been pursuing, but like I don't really need this thing to hit off because I'm gonna need the money. So subscribe. Yeah, so that's my Vegas story. When it comes to nightlife, you know, really fun. It's really easy once you know people. It's easy to get into places. As a guy, I don't know what that looks like for you guys, because y'all gotta pay for stuff. I don't know how that works. So as a female, you can find a lot of stuff for free. Girl, you ain't gotta pay for nothing. You ain't gotta pay for nothing. Let's see, what else is there? What have I noticed about Vegas? Things I've noticed about Vegas that I find just interesting in general. I don't know if these are things that are just like everywhere. They could be. Like, I noticed with, you know, just a lot of the guys here, people like to party a lot. You know, that's okay, to each his own. I partied a bunch when I first moved here, but you know, when I started working in nightlife, I didn't go to the clubs as much. Yeah, I've noticed with the guys, there's a lot of, I want to say it's like faking it till you're making it, or I don't know if it's like some of it is on purpose sleazy lying about what they have, and instead of being honest, it's just a lot of insecurities. If you have some power, you could abuse it as such. I've seen that, you know, in the workplace. I've seen that with like employees, or you know, like security people, just like ego getting in the way, and they have a little bit of power over you, so they're gonna use it. You know, it's like freaking pissing contest. It's a man's world, so you just kind of have to play it how you want. There's a lot of faking it, or like maybe just like unrealistic confidence. Maybe that's what I'll call it. What else? Girls never be on time. People are very flaky. You can invite 20 people to something and only 10 will show up. But I feel like this could be anywhere. But these are things I noticed when I moved to Vegas. These weren't things I had to deal with. Just have to kind of like let people disappoint you a little bit and be like, you know what? You showed face. You showed me that I can't rely on you, so I just ain't gonna. The shopping here is amazing. You know, you can do a lot of high-end shopping. You can do a lot of low-end shopping. You know, you can go balls to the wall at Gucci. You could go straight in ham at H&M. The food here is absolutely to die for. I've never had a bad meal, and like I can say that with conviction, and I've lived here for over 2 years. It's just, you have access to so much good food. Food is expensive, but it'd be worth it. It'd be freaking worth it. Like, whatever you're in the taste for, they got it. The food and the attractions, like you can go to shows, you can, you know, you can do stuff. Like, there's stuff to do. Wining and dining, going out, having a night out on the town. You have access to that 24/7, which when you live here, I don't think you really utilize that stuff as much as people would think. There's places where it's really just for the tourists. I'll go if a friend comes to visit in a town, but like you won't really see me on the strip unless I have to be there. Cost of living here is really nice. I've enjoyed living in this apartment. I'm ready to leave, but I've enjoyed living in this apartment. With 2020, we'll see how everything goes, the trajectory of everything, but as of right now, it'd be what it'd be. I've done more cool things in the last 2 years. I've met so many cool people in the last 2 years. I just think moving to Vegas was the best thing. Like, it was the best decision I've ever made, besides LASIK and dumping my ex. I got to do exactly what I wanted to do. Like, it wasn't what I envisioned, but it's exactly what I wanted to do, you know, and it was better. I have so many, like, I have stories. Like, I can tell, like, the amount of people I can say I've seen or met or interacted with. It's just insane, and like it's stuff that you can really only do in Las Vegas, or like stuff that would only happen in Las Vegas, because what happens in Las Vegas, baby. Yes, I think that's my story. I think that's it. I feel pretty good about the information I gave. I feel like I gave it. I gave it. What else is there about Las Vegas that you need to know about? It hardly ever rains here, but when it does, my god, the roads are slick. So just watch out. And then also red lights, give it a second, because people be running that red light bold as hell for a minute. Sin City, baby, you know, land of things to do. I would say land of opportunity, but isn't that LA? LA is a little ghetto too these days, but it's fine. Yeah, but you're close to LA, so that's also nice. I do make trips out to LA. The drive to LA is only 4 hours, and it's a nice drive. Like, you listen to a few songs and you're boom, you're there. That's it. That's Las Vegas. That's my experience in Las Vegas. If you have any specific questions though on what it's like living here, like what the transition has been like, I feel like I don't want to speak too much on what this year is like, because this year is temporary, you know, with the changes and stuff. But as of right now, Vegas is open. It's some shows have restarted, and you know, things are happening. Everyone has to wear a mask, but we're being asked to stay in for the next couple of weeks, so we'll see how that goes. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you like videos like this. If you want more videos like this, let me know down below. Yeah, what's good? What's poppin'? What's good? What's poppin'? No, I was thinking of something else. I wasn't.